What's going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 219. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
What's up, people? How's it going? Hey, it's funny. I actually went to it. The 219 is my old elementary school.
Crazy. All right, we'll get back to you a little later. Mr. Carlos Romero.
Yo.
Brian Manjoma.
Hello, people.
And back on the podcast, Mr. Brett Murdoch.
What's up, everybody?
All right, Manny, you look like you're in a different place. What's going on there?
I'm in a different place. I'm actually in New York again. I'm at my mom's place. I had to come up to New York since I've been at New York since Wednesday. I have some work up here, so yeah, that's where I am.
Yeah, man, that top secret shit, man.
Yep, can't talk about it.
But we will talk about it soon, hopefully. It'll be fun. Definitely up our wheelhouse. Combines two of our favorite worlds, games and art. You know, good stuff. Yeah, Manny's literally like 15-minute walk from me. But we ain't doing that right now because it's too fucking cold.
I was going to take the bus over to your place, and it would have been like, throwdown party.
Yeah, I need to like get like a proper thing so we could like both hear. You know what I'm saying? Like we need a splitter.
I probably could have had these headphones on.
Yeah, but like, we need a splitter though to like get them all together.
No, if I probably did it on my phone, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever. We're here. So yeah, shout out to everybody in the northern parts of America who are freezing their asses off right now. Shit is serious right now. Although even though it's cold over here in like the Northeast, it ain't nothing compared to the Midwest. Those motherfuckers, man. I was talking to my boy K Cube. He lives in South Dakota, right? He showed me his dashboard on his car. It was not what it felt like, the actual real temperature, negative 37. It's like, fuck. You know?
Damn.
I forgot who tweeted at me. They were like, "Oh man, it's cold today. It's 20 degrees," and I was like, "Man, I wish it was 20 degrees today. That shit sounds lovely." You know, that's why I'm over here with a sweater, man. It's still cold in here. I got the heat on and everything, but it's crazy. You know,
it's like low. It's high 60s, low 70s over here.
Look at this motherfucker, man. Rubbing it in.
He's like, "Yo, man, it's cold here."
Yeah, right. It's
sweater
that's
on,
cold.
It's
crazy, man.
I actually have to wear a sweater.
Yo, it's 70. Man, you 70, you don't even got a shirt on, man. That shit is already hot, you know?
70 over here is cold. It's like, damn, I guess I have to bring a jacket or something.
Yeah, man.
Gotta have something.
Gotta have something. By the way, what we don't have is Mr. Adam. He's feeling under the weather because over in Iowa is pretty fucking cold, too.
Yo, man, he's down with the sickness.
Yeah, exactly. Or the sickness is down with him. and Chris is making his money, so he couldn't join us tonight, you know. Although I wanted him for some of these topics, but we'll get him on Sunday. Also, shout out to a couple of people here. A Glorious War, our longtime listener, Mr. Hussein Unsal. Thank you for subscribing to us on the Twitch Primes.
Nice, thank you.
Very cool, And also, I want to give a shout out to our boy Enrique from the Basement Radio Arcade podcast. I was on their show last night talking to those guys about a bunch of different things.
Nice.
We got to get Enrique back on. He's a good guest, Whenever we have guys that are like either hosts or are on podcasts, those are the easiest guys to handle because they know the deal, We're not going to name any names, so we've had some incidents where we have people who aren't acclimated to podcasts like kind of fuck up the show. So we're very careful with who we have on, you know what I'm saying? Oh, man. All right. Well, without further ado, because we do have... This is kind of an old-school throwdown. Like, it's just a bunch of topics, I don't even know what the main one is. We're just going to rattle these off.
Yo, man, we're going to talk about movies?
Excuse me? Yeah, it's not that old-school throwdown,
Or he's like, yo, man, we going to talk about anime?
Yeah.
Anime, baby.
Carlos, remind me to tell you the anime joke I wanted to tweet out, but I won't because I'll probably get fired. Even though it's not anything crazy, but you know how people are, man. They'll start tagging my. Oh, it's fucking crazy. Anyway,
save it for the post show.
Yeah, save it for the post show, man. Oh man, I wish I could make those available. It'd be crazy. I wish I could make those available, and we could distort our voices. Hey man, did you hear what they said about those? Oh man. Just slow everything down. All right, man. So the first topic we're going to talk about is GameStop halts looking for a buyer and their stocks tumble. Apparently, they were trying to sell their company to somebody and nobody took them up. on their offer. So after that, their stocks dropped 27%. Now, obviously, this led to a lot of people saying, "Is this over for GameStop?" And again, this is why I wish Chris was here, because he's been signaling the doom of these guys for a while now. It looks like it may be coming.
Well, I mean,
what do you think?
It's an interesting thing because I mean, Barnes and Noble owns GameStop, so that means Barnes and Noble's not doing so great these days. So they kind of have two sort of failing businesses.
Yeah,
I think someone trying to buy up GameStop is like someone trying to get a suite on the Titanic midway through the Atlantic.
Shit.
It's like there's no point. Like, everybody knows this shit's going down. Like, the only way you're gonna try to get something is just, I don't know, the name. I don't know what people are expecting from this, because this is like, digital is the future, man, all day. And like all this shit is like all the retail stuff. The only reason why retail, like some of the major retail chains are still viable is because they get to do like their sort of partnerships with the companies, but like GameStop doesn't really do that as much anymore. So yeah, I don't know. They're dead pretty much.
It's interesting because like GameStop, they still sell video games obviously, but a lot of the shit they sell isn't even video game related, And it's interesting because this isn't like a comic book situation where like comic book, they're closing up stores everywhere because no one buys comics. People buy video games. They just don't buy them from GameStop,
because GameStop kind of burned the bridges, and like all the different bullshit things that they do, they try to get money out of people.
Yeah, check this out. They reported a third quarter loss of $488 million.
Fuck.
Damn, man. That included the sale of Spring Mobile. Remember when they bought that shit? Damn, man. So again, I don't think this is one of the things where anybody on this podcast is going to mourn. Let's just be honest here.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
I haven't been in a GameStop in a while, but from what you're saying, they're trying to transition themselves into like a Hot Topic kind of situation where they just sell like Funko Pops and all that shit.
Yeah, I mean that's what they got now. They got a bunch of Funko Pops. They got a bunch of what's the name of those fucking Nintendo toys? Amiibos. They got a bunch of those. It's whatever. But it was one interesting thing that the guys on the podcast I was on last night brought up, because they were a little bit more not optimistic, but they were a little bit more sad about this news, because to them they felt that GameStop was the place you go to hang out with other gamers and stuff. Mm-hmm. I never really got that sense. Like you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you go there, like like Manny and I were friends with the people that work there and stuff, but like that wasn't a place we went to congregate with other gamers.
Nah, man, the places we used to hang out. I guess this might be just a different generation. We used to hang out at the other game store, like the local game shit.
Yeah, that was the real spot. Like GameStop. Because here's the thing about GameStop, it always felt so like cold, so impersonal.
Yeah, it wasn't owned. It was just. It wasn't owned by somebody you kind of knew. It was owned it was just a bunch of rotating cast of
part-timers,
employees. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. Like for me, like maybe I'm part of their generation. I don't know, but I never spent time at GameStop. I kind of dreaded going to GameStop because you just get sucked into the employees giving you their whole spiel, because their employees, I always noticed this, all of their employees like wanted you to like, they did the first thing they did, they try to sell you on everything. Do you want to pre-order? Do you want to pre-order a fucking Let's Go Pikachu even though you don't have a Switch, or you want to pre-order a Halo 5 even though you don't have an Xbox? And like they just go through the whole laundry list of things they want to sell you. And then like the second part is, at least in my part, they kind of wanted to be my friend, and I'm like, nah, man, I'm good. I don't feel like talking to you right now. I'm just gonna buy a game and move on.
Yeah, that's creepy. Here's the thing. I used to hang out at my GameStop when it wasn't called GameStop, when it was Software Etc.
Software Etc.
Because that's the thing about GameStop too. They ate all the game stores we used to go to. Like they just gobbled them all up,
Well, I mean, they were Software Etc. first, and they kind of turned into GameStop.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I remember there was like 3 game stores around that area, 71st area. They were different stores. They all kind of became GameStop.
Well,
and then the other GameStop
game,
yeah.
EB Games was not far, and then there was another one that was a Funko Land that was earlier up, a little further up the street.
Yeah.
Toward the mall.
Yeah, I don't know. Brett, do you have anything to say about GameStop? Anything good or bad? You never actually really talked about them before, from what I know.
I don't have as much beef with GameStop as a lot of people do. They're my favorite company. My biggest complaint with them is that they don't give a fair price for their video games, and they've kind of ruined the used game market by consolidating and then pretty much driving their prices up, making their margins better at the expense of the consumer. So I don't think they're really geared towards the consumers very much. That being said, I don't find it problematic to have a used game store. I don't think that's an issue. I think that because some people are just inherently against it. I'm not one of those people. I think that it has a place. I don't think that the same way that, and Chris would probably be able to speak on this, but the same way that piracy creates a sort of, they're finding now creates a sort of shadow competition, which keeps big monopolies for the most part from crumbling in on themselves. I think that the used game market probably actually helped video games. I see less adaptation. I see less experimentation. I see people buying less games because you're stuck with a full $60 game, and then you pretty much delete it off your hard drive when you're done with it. So I think the idea of a GameStop is a good thing. I think the execution is fucking awful. And it just kind of breaks my heart a little bit that we can't have those EV games, those software, et cetera. The games that they're the stores that we had when I was young, because yeah, those were cool to hang out in. Maybe not so much like just hang around, like, and this is a different time, different place, but fucking man, back in the 90s when you were like being a mall rat, like, yeah, you hung around went to the mall, you hung around the game store for a little while, got some pizza in the food court. Like that was just kind of part of one of the many stops. So the fact that that's gone from gaming culture, or is, disappearing from gaming culture, it makes me sad, but I really don't mourn the loss of what GameStop is now.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I see it. Yeah, because you're right. Game stores are cool, they're fun, but GameStop just makes it too impersonal now. I don't mourn their death if that's what comes of this. I know some people, actually, no, a lot of people are rejoicing. I don't really go with that, the whole rejoicing thing. It's because a lot of people are going to be out of work and stuff, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, that's not a good place, man. Like, we need something better, but we'll see. It'll be interesting. Brian, this may be a stupid question. Do you guys have GameStop over there?
We don't.
What do you do? What's the equivalent? I know you guys have an equivalent though, right?
We have Game, but I don't think they're doing anything dumb these days.
Yeah. So what's your take on this whole GameStop thing as a British person?
To be honest, this is like the first time I am hearing of this, and again, I don't really have much opinion over it.
Yeah. Did you do stuff like that when you were younger? Like, go to, I guess, Game or whatever, shit like that, get your games and stuff?
Used to. Again, that's where I got my PS3 from, and most of my games from that generation. So Game has just stopped selling what exactly?
I don't know, man.
Actually, like, now, so Glorious War says Dota, League of Legends, and Fortnite are the mall hangout now. It's like,
he's right though.
Yo, man,
he is right. People just go watch these streams.
Home.
People just watch these streams. That's where gamers hang out now. It's crazy, man. The world is changing, man.
It's not even necessarily that so much, and I've experienced some of this, where you're not so much playing the game to play the game. You're playing the game as a side activity while you're on chat with your friends. So like, it's kind of a cool way to pass time, and I've gotten into it a little bit recently, where friends who live out of town, friends who are far away, like, it's more of an excuse to get on and shoot the shit. And some people are actually looking for a very mindless game while they do that. I'm pretty sure that's why Destiny succeeded.
Man, that's probably true. We know people like that. It's like, yeah, I just play to hang out and talk to friends. So, yeah. There you go. Can't begrudge them that. All right, let's move on here. This one's interesting. A weird story too. So NetEase, who's one of the biggest like Chinese game companies out there, known for mobile games, they are going to. I think they bought Quantic Dreams, right? And they're going to develop.
They bought a minority stake in Quantic Dreams.
Yeah, and but the big deal is Quantic Dreams is no longer PlayStation exclusive.
Nope.
They are going to be making games for everybody. My kind of fear is that they're going to start making. I know they're probably going to make real games too, but they're going to make some bullshit mobile games,
I mean, NetEase has a couple of other companies under there. I mean, BioWare is with them too.
Oh Jesus, man! What's the other big Chinese company? I forget, but they're actually like even bigger than EA and all these other companies. Just people don't know about them because they make mobile games. So it's NetEase and those other guys. Like those are the guys you got to watch out for, man. So yeah, it's pretty interesting how Quantic Dreams. Man, you okay? Keep dropping the phone or something?
Yeah, I'm trying to fix this thing.
Yeah, Tencent. Thank you, Sketch. Tencent is the other one. Gobbling up all these companies. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. So I guess you may see Quantic Dreams games on Xbox. But my question is, what about the games like Detroit or Heavy Rain or Beyond? Like, are those Quantic Dreams IPs or are they Sony IPs? Like, who owns those? I don't know.
I think Sony owns those.
Yeah.
Let me see. Detroit becoming too human. Publisher Sony Interactive Entertainment.
Well, they publish it.
They own it.
Okay, so they own it. Yeah, because I was wondering, are you going to play like Heavy Rain on your phone or something?
I mean, here's the thing: like their system would not work too bad on a phone.
No, it wouldn't. So it could actually, could potentially work.
The guys that made the Telltale games, those worked on phones, and those were a lot of that stuff.
And look what happened to Telltale.
Oh shit!
Well, Telltale was not handling their business right. So
yeah, they spread themselves too thin,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Quantic Dreams, if anything, they just develop one game per generation. It looks like, or two.
So yeah, this isn't like a big story, but it's just more interesting than anything. That you could potentially see Quantic Dreams games on Xbox and stuff, based on Nintendo, But yeah, NetEase, man, keep your eye on them. And Tencent, they're coming. The Chinese invasion, man. All right, where are we now? And Brian, this one's for you, man. Have you heard about this whole drama with Metro Exodus?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, please tell us about this.
So Metro Exodus is a game that's getting lots of attention. It seems like purely because it was announced at E3. So what had happened prior is that they had announced that it was going to be released on Steam. So hence they had the Steam page with all the details to purchase it beforehand and all sorts. So as you well know, Epic decided to make their own store. I think was it in January, or something, or December? And for some odd reason, they have decided to pull the game from Steam and make it exclusive only to the Epic store. Some weird ass reason. They still will honor the deal that they had. So if you did purchase it on Steam, it will be you can still get it from Steam. You don't need the Epic account. But all future purchases from a certain point which has passed will have to go through the Epic account. And people are just generally pissed off by this. They are wondering why this is a thing and how this is meant to make a good competition if you're just locking games down to one of the launchers. And people have even gone as far as taking to the old games on Steam, so Metro 2033, Metro Last Light, and then just review bombing them because they don't like the idea of what the publisher has done. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, what's your take on it though? How do you feel about it?
I just don't know why they made that choice. What made them say, hey, let's pull it from Steam and only have it on this one store? So I'm guessing either Epic just came along and just dropped like a truck of money and said, hey, put it on our store and stop our competitors. As usually with exclusives like this is what happens. Just drive a boatload of cash and say, hey, put it on our thing and only our thing. I'm just like, it's not It's not healthy. It's going to cause lots of people to be very annoyed by it, and it may even drive people to the idea of piracy because, like, hey, I don't want to buy into this launcher, so I'll pirate it, which is very upsetting. Because again, the game is a really good game. It's 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 one of my favorite franchises that I play every now and then, and I'm just really confused as to what made them think that this is a good decision. Like they could have just said like, hey, you know what, we'll have it on Epic Store as well. Because currently the only way to get it now is through the Epic Store. Like you can't get it on anything else. You can't get it on Uplay, Origin, GOG, as far as I know. So hence you're pretty much tied down to the Epic Store. And some people just don't want to use it because it has not great policies on refunds. It does not have as many features as Steam does. And people are just like, why should I have to buy this launcher to play this game? Which I think is fair. Like I'm still in the mindset of like, hey, unless you help make the game in some way, shape, or form, you should be able to put it on any launcher that you want. So take for instance something like Battlefield. Battlefield is published by EA. It uses the Frostbite engine, which I'm sure that EA had a hand in some way, shape, or form. So hence, if Battlefield is tied down to Origin, that's fine. You know, it's quote unquote their game. Whereas this is a game that was made by a third party, not tied to anything, and then just locking weight on one thing is kind of dumb. It's just kind of like they're just throwing a huff and saying, "Cool, I'm going to take my toys and walk away." Like, why? You're not really looking any better. You're just looking like an asshole, which they do.
Yeah, but like you said, they probably got dumped a bunch of money. That so you can't blame them. But my thing, that I find interesting is the whole review bombing thing. It's like, why are you like review bombing games that have nothing to do with this? You know what I'm saying? And it kind of just takes away.
Game franchise, so it makes some semblance of sense. And the argument that
I mean, okay, it makes sense. It's just stupid.
They are doing it to express their anger, which again is a valid thing, but how they're expressing the anger is kind of dumb. Like, you can't just review bomb a game, which, again, as you said, has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to express your anger, that's fine. It's just the review bombing is stupid. It kind of, again, we keep talking about how stupid user scores are because of stuff like this. This isn't helping that situation, It's crazy. Apparently, Sketch says that this is just a timed exclusive for a year, but I don't think it matters, man. People are already pissed,
That's the thing, like, it doesn't matter at this point. Like, again, people want to get it through Steam because for most people, that is convenient. Like, if the game also came out on other platforms like GOG or Uplay or Origin, I don't think that the reaction would be anywhere as bad. Like, if the game just came out on everything apart from Steam, I'm sure that most people would still be fine with that. It's just the fact that it was on Steam and then now it's not going to be on Steam and it will only be on this. It's like, the fuck is that about?
Yeah. Sketch brings up a good point. He says that people forget that 145 million people already on the Epic Store because of Fortnite. So, yeah, he's right about that, But
then are they buying games on the store, though? That's the thing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like,
that's a good point.
Like this is the whole idea of like people like chasing the Call of Duty crowd. It's like, yeah, there's like hundreds of Call of Duty players, but these people want to play Call of Duty. Like they don't want to play anything else. Like they'll buy it, they'll like play it for like 2 days, and then they'll throw it away. Again, they are Call of Duty players. Like, okay, it's fine that Epic has the Fortnite players, which are playing through their stuff, but those guys want to play Fortnite. Do you really think that Ninja gives a crap about Metro? Like, do you really think that he actually says, "Hey, I'm going to play Metro and shit"? No, he'll play it. Like his views will drop, and then he'll go back to Fortnite. Like, it won't matter that they have that much of an audience. It's an audience that wants to play one game and one game only, not an audience that wants to play all the games.
Yeah. Let's see some of these comments here. Actually, Carlos, you have a take on this?
No, it's pretty much the same as what I've been saying. I think Steam is kind of dying. A lot of
that's a bold statement.
Yeah, like when I think about it, I'm like, where is this service going to be in like 5 years from now? Because all of the big players are like just getting rid of all their games that like a lot of the franchises that they used to count on not there anymore. And the biggest games are now Fortnite and PUBG and all those other games, and those aren't. I don't know. Maybe is PUBG on Steam?
Yeah,
Actually,
still on
I think it is.
Steam. I'll double check right now, but I'm certain it is.
But yeah, like Fortnite isn't on it.
It's crazy. No, you're right about that. It's like, think about that. Like,
Yep, PUBG's on there.
okay, yeah, like the biggest game that's out now is not on Steam.
Yeah, and also, so like it's like everyone has their own service. Blizzard has their own service. EA, Ubisoft, Epic. Like, there's just so many services now, and Discord is starting their own shit. It's like someone has to fall, and I'm like, Valve doesn't make game. Like, they really don't make games anymore. What do they make? Like, what's the last game they made? Like a Counter-Strike sequel or something? I don't know. Or I don't know. They made a fucking that fucking MOBA, but yeah, like it's like they don't fucking make games anymore that like to support their platform. They used to they rely on all these third-party games, and a lot of the big ones are jumping ship of there and creating their own stuff. So I don't know. I don't think Steam is in the right direction right now.
This is interesting. Thank you, Big Mike, for being in the chat. He goes that Division 2 is also going to be exclusive to the Epic Store.
Damn.
Wow. Wow.
Yep, I played the Division 1 on Steam.
That's crazy, man. I don't know.
Are you sure it's not on Uplay? That seems a bit weird.
Yeah, that does seem weird. Why isn't it on Uplay? You know?
Oh, that is true. That is
because they're trying to be the biggest pain in the dick to their consumer base. They can.
Yeah, Brett, I know you got some thoughts on this shit, man. Go ahead.
Why? Just fucking why? Why? I understand you want your own platform. I want a Lamborghini. It's not going to fucking happen. It's a stupid idea. The best case scenario we have here is the adage, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Like, congratulations, you can fracture the community and get 10% of them for yourself. How about we all just agree to meet in a common meeting area and purchase our games from a common marketplace? Like, it's the thing that makes the most sense. It's the thing Steam was built on, and there's no reason. Like, trust me, if this were a bad thing, the market would have reacted. It would have gone to GOG or one of other things. It would have fractured more. But Steam has been doing a good job. And as a company, all you're doing by forcing them to fracture and split up that marketplace is pissing off the customers who go to that marketplace. It's like walking into a fucking mall that you don't like and say like, too many people eat in this food court. I know. I'll take a wrecking ball to the fucking middle of the food court, then everybody go to the Taco Bell across the street. No, you just pissed off a whole bunch of people eating Chinese food. That's all you accomplished. Nobody's going to your fucking Taco Bell. And the only reason that you're getting anybody to go there is you're literally forcing them to. You are holding their friends and their entertainment hostage. That is not a way to treat your customers. You're supposed to entice your customers to your service, not force them into it. Like, I don't understand how they can even look at this and not think that they're being the antagonist, that they're not being the dick in the room. And like, life isn't hard. Morality is black and gray, but like it all boils down to, hey, don't be a dick. It shouldn't really be that hard, but yet they seem to go out of their way to want to do it. And I would even understand if this shit were working, but it's not. It doesn't fucking work. It doesn't get them more customers. They're just all having this fucking petty squabbling slap fight in the middle of a public square, and it's embarrassing for everybody, including us, those of us just watching. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think they don't realize how dickish they're being because they're too busy counting their money. Let's just be honest, man.
But they're not making much money is the thing.
No, they already made their money. They already made their money.
$6, $7. We got $7 whole dollars. It's like 7 people robbing a bank and coming out with $4 each.
No, I'm talking about the money they already made from the exclusivity deal. They already made their money. They probably made a shit ton of it. So they're probably just too busy counting that. They probably don't even care. Which is sad for the consumer, like you said.
Sketch.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, what Sketch said, man?
Sketch and Big Mike say exclusives sell games. I'm like, sometimes it does. I agree to a certain extent. Like, if it's like a smaller game, like for example, let's say Microsoft has a small game, but it's an exclusive So it's going to garner more hype, and it's going to sell more copies because people want to sort of showboat their exclusive games. But was it Big Mike mentioned, or was it Big Mike or someone mentioned Spider-Man and God of War, and I'm like, if you put Spider-Man and God of War on Xbox and PC, it's going to sell way more copies than it ever would have just on PlayStation.
What does this have to do with exclusives? Exclusives though.
No, like maybe what they're trying to say is that since it's exclusive to the Epic platform, then
yeah, but that's a whole different thing, and I will be happy to go into why. Like, first of all, when you have an exclusive on a console thing, the idea there is to drive you to that platform to sell a product. Okay, when we have this sort of Epic platform, they're not trying to drive you to Epic to sell you Epic. Epic is fucking free. They want to install ad data trackers and monitor what you're buying and get you hooked into their platform so they can exploit you at a later date. Like, the two are two very different things, and I feel like this is more subtle and more insidious. You know, at least with Xbox, they know they're like, dude, we just want you to buy an Xbox. Then maybe you'll buy some more Xbox games in the future. It's not. This is more of almost like a fucking Facebook style business model. And I don't like it. Especially because they can sell their games through many other avenues. So they're just trying to increase their margins, or they're doing some other weird shady shit.
Yeah.
Neither of which I'm particularly happy about.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. Manny, what's your take on this?
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, like, I guess they're trying to swallow up all they're trying to create a platform war between what's those guys, between Steam. But I don't know. It's kind of it stinks that things have to happen these ways, where, like, you know. But then again, you know, we live in a world where we're mostly console gaming, you know. You know, and we have
like guys like me and you, this shit doesn't affect us, but for the PC guys, that obviously does.
Yeah, for
PC
guys, yes, PC guys never need to think about something like that. Oh, well, you know, I'll just go on Steam. Yeah.
Well, not anymore. Now you got to go to a bunch of different places. You know, but yeah, that Scott said it right there. They drive you to their platform, but the way they're doing it is kind of fucked up. They're not incentivizing you. They're like forcing you there, like Brett said. You know, they're kidnapping you, and you wake up the next day like, "What the fuck am I? Oh shit!" You know, am I missing a kidney? What the hell's going on here?
Congratulations, you're part of the Epic family now.
Yeah, it's like, I didn't sign up for this shit. It's
Welcome
crazy.
to the world of Epic.
Yeah, but we'll see if it ultimately affects Metro's sales, which I don't think it will. I think the game will do well, you know, well enough, especially on consoles. All right, we got to move on here. Everyone's still talking about this game, Anthem. You know, we can get more into it, but the main thing I want to talk about is this crazy flow chart that EA put out. It's for, like, ways to play Anthem, and I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like, remember when the way to play a game was to play a game? Like, this shit is fucking crazy.
You're making too big a deal out of it.
No, dude, look at this flow chart. Like, I look like I need a degree in, like,
the
biochemistry.
The flow chart is stupid and inherently unnecessary. If you actually two of those charts are literally the same fucking day for different versions.
That's what I'm saying. It's confusing, man.
Yeah, like, but see, the weird thing is the release of the game is no more confusing than a lot of games release. Like, hey, you know, access to a beta and then early access for buyers who go in. I'm not saying I like that model. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that's actually pretty normal. Where they fucked up was putting out this weirdly confusing flowchart, which makes it seem infinitely more complicated than it is.
Okay, hold on. I got to stop you, though. So what you're basically telling me, and this is kind of bad if you think about it, all games are like this, and this just demonstrates how crazy things are now. If every game is doing what Anthem is doing, that just goes to show how insane things have gotten. You know, this is like, you know, forget, like the sausage being made. It's like, I don't care how the sausage being made, and you see how the sausage is made. It's like, that's how it's done? Really? So well, is it that type of deal? Like, people are just like, what they're showing us now is what is standard. It's just seeing it as different.
No. This is just I mean, yes, that's part of it, but the other part is it is also an astoundingly stupid way to present information to people. It's like if I could make a chart of everything you could order at McDonald's, you know, just the variations of the burger meal. Like, you can get a burger with milk, you get a burger with apples, you can get a burger with fries, you get a chicken nugget. Like, all the different options for like a kid's menu would be fucking ridiculous because of all the ways that they link up with each other. I mean, like this giant obtuse jumble of information when all you really need to know is like, hey, you pick a main thing and then you pick a fucking sign to drink, dumbass. Like, it's not that hard. Really, all this thing says is, so February 1st, everybody can play. And then a little later in the month, there's a test period where people who didn't pre-order the game can play. And on that same day, people who played the pre-order game can play. That is literally the entirety of the chart right there. For some reason, they decided to break it up into all of its components and show, like, put them into columns and shit, which just makes it seem confusing.
Yeah, like, for example... No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's February 1st and February 15th. Everybody can play February 1st. If you pre-order the game, you can play on February 15th. If you didn't pre-order the game, you can start a 10-day trial or whatever on February the 15th. That's it.
Here's what part I'm getting confused. Okay, full game on February 22nd, right? So EA Access and Origin are not checked off, but they are for the 15th. Does that mean you can't play the game on the 22nd on those platforms then? Like, okay. I'm confused by this.
Say what now?
Okay, right here. You could play the game on February 15th on EA Access on Xbox One and Origin Access on PC, right? Uh-huh. But those two columns are X'd out for February 22nd.
Because the beta stops when the game releases.
So, but does that mean you can't play the game? Like,
no, you can't play the. You can't play the beta because the game is released.
Oh, you can't play the full trial. I got you.
That's my exact point. Why would you make this information so confusing? Of course, you can't play the beta once the game is out. The fucking game is out.
My head hurts looking at this shit. Hold on, I'm gonna put this shit up for the people, man. You guys gotta see this is fucking crazy. Look at this thing.
All the people who can play on February 22nd are the standard pre-order.
Look at this fucking. Look at this.
Pre-order, and the Origin Access Premiere. Like everybody who bought the game.
Okay, so oh god, my head is hurting just trying to look at this. So if you pre-order the game on every platform, you can play on first. Legion Dawn, I don't know what the fuck that is. You could play on the first EA Access, whatever. You guys look at this shit yourself.
Yeah. Origin Access gets it on the 15th. Also on the 15th, EA Access and Origin Access. So Origin Access Basic, Origin Access, and see that's like if you look at the middle two columns going up and down, they're the same fucking day. They're both February 15th. I don't know why it's split in two columns.
Why?
I don't know. So basically what they're saying is on February 15th, everybody but the pre-orders can play. So like if you got it through EA Access, through Xbox, PC, or Xbox or PC, you can play on the 15th. PS4 and PC, Xbox One standard pre-orders all get out on release date. So if you ordered if you ordered the premiere version through their services, you get early access on the 15th. Otherwise, fuck off until the 22nd.
Okay.
Everybody can play on the 1st. If you went through their special fucking channels, you get to play on the 15th. Otherwise, you play on the 22nd. Boom. I just saved you from having to decipher this entire fucking thing.
Yeah, you had the Rosetta Stone, man. Shit. That's ridiculous.
It's just unnecessary to put it that way. Who does this?
EA. Again, this wasn't done by an independent person. That was literally EA's main account tweeted that out. Oh God!
I would be legitimately asking if EA is autistic, but they are way better with numbers than this. So I don't even know what this is.
Hold on, there was another company that did this almost a year ago. Did the same flowchart shit, and you're like, what the fuck am I looking at? I think it was Ubisoft that did it with one of their games, and you're like, well, what? You know?
Yeah, it's just weird. Like, first of all, stop all the fuckery with the staggering releases. Like, I get it. I kind of do. You're trying to find some tangible reward that doesn't actually have any value and doesn't continue to have any value. But, like, you're giving people 3 fucking days. 3 fucking days head start on a multiplayer game. First of all, that's a dick move. That's such a dick move. I get that it's not like a piece of equipment or something like that it's exclusive so people can't bitch about it, but still, dick move. Don't start the race and let some people start before others. That's just such an asshole move. Second of all, really, who the fuck cares? You're giving people 3 days. Unless there are people who are just the hardcore of the hardcore, they're going to sit down and fucking grind out those 3 days to get so far ahead of everybody that nobody can play with them in their multiplayer game. Fine, I guess, but again, why go to all this length just to do something that's kind of mildly like the people, like, if you had not offered this, there would not be people saying, like, you know, I really want to play Anthem, but goddamn it, if it's not going to be on the 15th, I can't wait until the 22nd. Fuck that noise. There's not a game release that you're competing with. Like, you're not trying to, you know, I would get it if there was a game coming out the next week or something, and you're trying to be like, hey, let's get this into people's hands, get them hyped about it so they don't forget about us. There's literally no reason for all of this obtuse bullshit.
To be fair, though, there are a lot of games coming out in February. Metro being one of them. And a game no one's talking about, Crackdown 3, that's coming. Far Cry's coming out. And there's another one that's coming out. So there's a lot of shit coming out. But the point stands that this chart is fucking needlessly complicated.
I just find it ironic that they're trying to be so detailed about how and when you can play, but they don't actually tell you the time.
Right?
It's like good. I mean, if you're gonna be super detailed, tell me what time? Like, is it midnight at February 1st?
You're right about that, because usually they tell you the time it starts and the time it ends. Like, you know, 11:59, you know, to 11:59. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not doing none of that.
Yep.
Oh my god, this is ridiculous.
I'm with the demo right now, and I can't play it.
Wow. All right. Apparently, the demo opens up tomorrow. So if that happens, Throwdown will be streaming it for you guys. But, you know, since we're talking about Anthem, I want to talk to the guys who are excited for it. Brett and Carlos. Like, what is it about this game?
No, you're getting it all confused. I'm not excited about this game. I'm just getting it.
Okay, you're just getting it.
Excited is a bit of a strong word.
Really? Okay. I'll take that back. Excited compared to me, at least. I'm like, don't give a fuck, you know? Okay, so why are you interested in checking it out then?
I feel like, unless Carlos wants to jump in. Okay. Go ahead.
So Sketch said the demo starts at 12 p.m. Eastern.
12 p.m. Eastern. All right.
So that's tomorrow, 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. God damn it! Now I'm confused.
12 p.m.
Starts in the middle
That's
of the
afternoon.
goddamn afternoon.
Yeah, that's the afternoon, bro.
Oh shit.
Yeah, not 12 a.m.
Yeah, I'm like, because when I first read it, I thought it was 12 a.m. and then I'm like, oh, that's like 30 minutes from now. And then I saw, and I'm like, oh no, shit, p.m. Like, really?
Yeah,
With the middle of the day?
Right now, Carlos is as confused as me looking at this Anthem chart.
Yeah, man. This shit, I'm telling you, man. They're just confusing us even more, man.
You know. Anyway, Carlos, why are you interested in what's a word for that's lesser than interested but better than not interested? Intrigued. Okay, I guess. Curious. Curious is the word. Why are you curious? Yeah.
Because it's BioWare. They created my favorite franchise ever. I mean, they also killed it, but I want to see where their last stand is. I want to see. I was so hyped up for Mass Effect Andromeda, and I bought 2 copies of it, and I was severely disappointed. And apparently, the reason why their game was so lacking is because they invested all of their top tier resources on this game called Anthem. And I want to see if this game is actually good. If, like, I'm going to give it a shot, because I know for a fact not for a fact, but I know if this game succeeds, then BioWare lives on. But if this game fails, then BioWare dies. And I just want to have a front row seat.
Interesting. All right, Brett, why are you curious?
Some people want to watch the world burn. Master Wayne.
I think the reason that I'm drawn to it is because I think Destiny had a good vision, but a terrible execution. I think that the idea of a large, open, shared world, sci-fi, fantasy, whatever, I think it has inherent merit. And I think just because Destiny fumbled and didn't reach what it was supposed to be doesn't mean that everybody or every game in the genre is shot. And I understand people's propensity to think so. I've been there myself. But I've also watched in the last 10 years, believe it or not, young gamers, we've seen new genres actually emerge and become quite popular in the last 10 years. And it's rarely the first game to try and do that thing that ends up being known for that genre. DayZ spawned a whole genre that it's not known for because it is not the best example of that. So I think that there's still an idea out there of, Destiny tried it, Division tried it. Division also failed out the gate, but they kind of built it into something better. I mean, Adam fucking loves that game now. So I'm hoping that they're getting a little closer to the mark. And again, I do still have a little bit of faith in BioWare, even after Andromeda, especially considering the fact that Andromeda was apparently so terrible because all their best people were working on Anthem. So if what you're telling me is these are the best BioWare people and the best project they have, and this is their last Hail Mary to keep them from going under, I'll see what they come to bat with. And it's not necessarily, honestly, it's not because I owe them anything or I have any kind of brand loyalty or anything like that, but more along the lines of I got an extra $60 and I could see how BioWare's story ends. This may be another Brink. I was there, but wasn't Brink was Bethesda. Oh my god, it's fucking awful. So it could be another one of those situations, but I won't know until I get there. And in the meanwhile, I get to fly around like Iron Man and throw giant fireballs. So, can't be all bad. Also, it's like Destiny, but in third person, which was my biggest fucking gripe.
They teased you with the dances.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing.
Man, I saw one GIF from fucking. I was about to call it Warframe from Anthem. I'll get to that in a little bit. And I swear this shit looked like fucking Destiny. It's you had these robots dancing around. I'm like, okay, I see what's going on here. There was another one where I was like, am I looking at Warframe right now? It's crazy. It just looks like they're taking all these different games and mashing them into one. Doesn't seem like anything wholly original, which I'm not going to hold against because nothing's really original, But to me, I said this before we started the show, and I'll save to the fans. I want to get their take on it. To me, even though I'm gonna probably play it because of work or whatever, a part of me doesn't want to back this game out of principle. I feel BioWare's kind of betraying what they're about. They're a narrative-driven company, and they're like, "Hey, looter shooters, we're gonna do looter shooters now." It's like, come on, guys! You guys make the trends. You don't fucking follow them, So, but I could be wrong. They could, reinvent the genre, like Brett said. Yeah, maybe it is unfair to see Destiny and go, okay, that's what looter shooters are about. Fuck that, But at the same time, you also have the Division. I think they're doing something better with looter shooters than Destiny is. And Anthem and Destiny are kind of competing now, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, I'll try. But again, I'm just this isn't what I want from BioWare, man. It really isn't. Dragon Age, Mass Effect. That's the shit I want from them. This looter shooter stuff. We'll see about that. I know they're saying, this is gonna have as much narrative as other BioWare games. I just don't. That trust isn't there, man. It really isn't, man. Maybe I'm a sour asshole, or whatever. But I don't know.
I feel like if we were talking about Bethesda right now, making a game other than Elder Scrolls or Fallout, and people are like, "Oh no, you need to make Elder Scrolls or Fallout. That's what you do." I feel like you'd be on the other side of the fence.
What do you mean?
I feel like you'd be for Bethesda making something other than just Elder Scrolls and Fallout.
No, I've always said Bethesda shouldn't make an online game. I was very clear on that. And I'm not a Bethesda fan. I said, this is a bad move for you guys. Obviously, I was wrong. Elder Scrolls Online does great for them. But to me, I'm like, what are you guys doing, man? If Bethesda was trying to do their own looter shooter, I would be... probably would be a little harsher because I just don't like Bethesda. But it would still be the same thing. I would still be like, you guys are betraying what you guys are about. Just for quick cash, Maybe that sounds stupid.
Who is equipped to do a looter shooter then?
Who's equipped to do it? Well, I mean...
Yeah, I wouldn't trust Blizzard with it. I mean, they'd be the most capable, but fuck, they'll steal your money so fast.
Well, they already kind of do looter shooters. That Overwatch is kind of like that.
It's a looter shooter, but it's, but it's weird. It's a hero shooter. That's the actual name of it, but it is looty,
Super looty.
Yeah, that's a good question because the thing is, I don't really care about looter shooters like that. Again, the only reason I really enjoyed Destiny is because of the mechanics. I felt the shooting was fantastic. Same thing with Division. I think that game fell short, but I thought the shooting was fucking brilliant. You know.
So let me get this straight.
I think I just hold on. I'm sorry. I guess Brett. I know they're called officially looter shooters now. I call them dangling carrot games, if you know what I'm talking about. Like, that gets kind of frustrating after I was like, I get a little bit every time I get a little bit, but they never give me a full meal. They just give me little nibblets here and there. you know?
I agree with that, but the one thing I will put on top of that is it makes way more sense to find a part for your robot that makes you more powerful than to find a pair of pants that give you 20% extra health.
Yeah, no, for sure. I by the way, this is the analogy I'm thinking of now. It's like, you're leading me along pieces of candy on the floor. Yeah, those pieces of candy are fantastic. But then after 2 hours, I realized I've just been eating nothing but candy. Where's the full fucking meal? Where's the meat? Yeah, That's what I'm saying, man. Anyway, Carlos, what were you gonna say, man? Before I rudely cut you off.
Oh no, I kind of cut you off, but that's because I thought you were.
Hold on. I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm gonna let you finish, man. So how I understand it is, BioWare is making a game that already exists, that is not going to bring anything new to the table. They're just going to do a really good job at it. Is that how I understood you, Brett?
I guess.
I don't. Are you asking me? Do I think this game is going to be revolutionary?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I know that BioWare, their whole thing is they're trying to do the BioWare storytelling in the city. And the gameplay outside of the city. I'm not sure if that means that they'll do like a meeting hub, but I think what they're going for is like, when depending on what you do, your interactions with certain characters may turn out differently, or maybe you'll have dialogue choices. They really haven't said much about this. My biggest thing is it's like Destiny but third person. That's all I wanted. I just play around like Iron Man. This is like a Michael Bay movie, right? Like, it's like I'm going to see a Michael Bay Transformers movie. Is it going to be good? Nah. You're going to kill an hour and a half? Yeah.
I was about to say, that's not a good endorsement.
And it's not like I'm asking this game to be revolutionary. I'm just saying, like, what is the what do you call it?
Point?
The high, like the upside on this game, and it's like it can either be a really good version of Destiny, or it could be a really bad version of Destiny. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Let me give you the reverse ask, because I've recently run into this problem. If I want to play an online game with people, what are really my options right now?
Fortnite, Call of Duty, The Division,
Overwatch,
Heroes of the Storm, Dota, League of Legends, Sea of Thieves,
Counter-Strike.
And other than Destiny, who else is doing what Anthem is doing out of all of those?
Overwatch, kind of. The Division.
Kind of.
Division's doing it's just not sci-fi, but yeah.
Yeah, well, my point is that, like, I actively generally tend to like these kinds of games, what I call just long burn games, pointless activity, fun games.
Yo, man, burn it.
Yeah. Oh, show. I generally have, like, I wanted to play one. I'm like, I don't have anything to play. And if I do, like, they're games that I've either already played or they're really old.
Yo, man, play Kingdom Hearts.
Not the same thing. Not the same thing. But, like, I do feel like there's a hole in the market in this place. And I think we don't see it because, for the most part, even I'm not that hardcore into it. But, for the most part, none of the people on the podcast here are super into those online games. But if you are, there aren't that many options. I was really excited for Red Dead Online, thinking that it was going to be way more than it was. And I think a lot of people were the same.
Or Red Dead Online hasn't launched yet.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still in beta.
Yeah, it's still in beta, yeah.
Yeah, people were hoping for something kind of similar with Sea of Thieves. Like, a lot of these things just kind of like failed to deliver.
Can I pat myself on the back real quick, Brett?
Oh.
Yeah.
Remember, and this is a part patting the back to Brett too. Remember, we were complaining about Red Dead Redemption not launching with an online mode.
Yeah.
Where's Red Dead Redemption now? No one's talking about this game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no one's talking about it now.
And that's because the online is not there.
It has no longevity.
It doesn't have longevity. Like the freaking GTA 5 is still in the fucking NPDs top 10.
Does that mean we're seeing a repeat of Red Dead 1 online? Because that didn't last very long either.
I think what it is you need a special recipe in order to get that consistent play online game. And I think it's really hard mark to catch. And I think that they're trying for. I can't tell you whether they'll be successful. Because honestly, the big truth is virtually nobody has been successful at this.
Yeah.
But maybe Anthem, not Destiny, maybe Anthem will be more successful than before.
Yeah.
I already know, like.
Yeah, and I was going to say Destiny, not 2, but 1 was very, very successful.
Oh, yeah. Super successful.
1 was very, very successful, but even down to, like, one of the things that's very telling to me, and I realize I'm probably pinning up on this too much, is the third-person mode. In Destiny 1, that was probably the single most asked-for feature with the sequel. Please let us just play the camera like we want to play it. We're not having open-world PvP. There's not advantages being given to people. Nobody gives a fuck. Just let us play it. But they didn't. And they did. People thought they were going to add it as an update, maybe, and they were fooling themselves. I was included in that. People. And then when Destiny 2 came, people were like, "Oh, maybe," kept their fingers crossed, and it was revealed. Like, fucking really? Like, you didn't listen to your audience? If you have ears, you've heard the Destiny community at least asking for this. They ask for a bunch of different stuff, but that's probably the single most unified voice in the community, as far as I know, other than some basic tweaks and balances and shit. So just the fact that they didn't do it, I think is weird. And I think it's weird that nobody has thought, like, hey, maybe we should do a third-person mode in a game where you collect armor. It just seems so incredibly simple, yet nobody has done it. So, but Anthem is doing it. So, I mean, already you're a little bit ahead of the pack, I guess.
Well, I don't know. I don't think that's the biggest issue with Destiny. Because, I mean...
I don't think it's an issue either. I think that's just one of the most asked for features between Destiny 1 and 2.
With third person, I've never heard anyone outside of you ask for that.
Yeah, I haven't either. Because
all the time.
Because the biggest one of the biggest draws in the whole game is the mechanics, and you can't do those mechanics with the third person mode. Like those, like it's like for me, and I think a lot of people, like I think Tony's also mentioned, it's some of the best first person mechanics.
Oh yeah, easily.
Why would being able to drop between first and third ruin those mechanics?
No, that wouldn't ruin at all. I mean, yeah, if you want to give people the option, sure,
Yeah, but it's not something like people
but no one's
are
really
dropping
asking
the game
for
because,
it. Yeah. No one's
it's a
for
Destiny
that.
people probably would like it if it's presented to them. But it's like Bethesda games, like they don't like the fact that it has a third person mode doesn't make the game. It doesn't make it more of a success than it actually is.
Yeah, and most people end up playing it in first person anyway. Even me, I prefer third person over first person. I play those games in first person because I know it. Those games are designed to be played that way, But that's a whole other topic. Anyway, we'll get back to Anthem. I guess we'll be playing it tomorrow, so we'll give you our thoughts. Oh man! All right, so this is one of those things where I'm gonna say that I told you so, even though it's still a rumor, not official.
Yo, man, what you telling?
The rumor is that Nintendo is planning on launching a smaller, cheaper Switch by the end of fiscal year 2019.
Yo, man,
I've been saying it.
Calling up rumors.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The only thing I disagree with this is said by the end of fiscal year 2019, literally next month. They're not. That shit ain't coming out next month. Get out of here. You crazy?
No. End of fiscal year 2019 is March of 2020.
Yeah.
No, is that it? I'm looking here. It says April 2018 and 2019. Oh no, you're right about that. Okay, I can see that. 2020, I can see that. Here's the thing: Nintendo's going to release another version of Switch. You already know it's going to happen. That's a given, And I think one that's a pure dedicated handheld will actually fill a certain niche. Because let's just be honest, man. I know some people are perfectly okay with it, but for me, that thing is too bulky to be a proper handheld. Like the Vita and PSP and even 3DS, they fit nicely into your hands, into your pocket. You can't do that with the Switch. So I think a smaller version would actually be pretty smart. But if it's a pure handheld, I don't know if some of the mechanics will transfer over with some of the games. I know some people were saying that, like, because for example, what if you need the Joy-Cons to do some motions with some of the games? I don't know how that'll work. Like, we'll have smaller detachable Joy-Cons, and those Joy-Cons are small enough as it is.
Yeah, super small.
They're gonna do like what Sony did, and if some of the games involve like Joy-Con bullshit, they're probably not gonna. That's probably gonna have a thing that says, some things are not available.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. But yeah, I think a smaller version would be pretty good, because that thing is too bulky to be playing, handheld anyway.
I mean, the Switch launched April of 2017. I'm super shocked they haven't released more, like, at the very least those limited edition bundles. Like, I don't see them as like.
Well, we don't get them a lot over here, though.
Well, hold on, because I'm being stupid right now. Limited edition bundles, examples?
Or
like
maybe I'm just...
The DS had a bunch of alternate versions where one was a Pikachu, one was a Mario.
Yeah.
You can get it in many different colors that would come.
I thought we've seen a bunch of those, Brian, haven't we?
They've been having them. They had one for Smash, had one for Diablo 3, had one for Pokemon. Like, they've been a thing. I don't think that they were things since like Zelda came out, but they've been there recently, as far as I know.
Okay, so that's just me not being ignorant. Okay, I honestly thought it was just the same two bundles the whole time.
Yeah. Again, this is one of those things I wanted Chris to chime in on. But here's the thing: even if it's not a smaller, Switch, they're gonna come out with something. They gotta have something.
They gotta have something.
Yeah, using everybody's catchphrase.
Yeah, well, the guys are not here, so we gotta use their catchphrases. Yo,
they gotta have
Lucha.
Yo, that butter console. I'm still waiting. So, like, how you predicted a smaller Switch. My whole thing is they're gonna release a Switch without the dock. That's my thing.
Well, that's what I think this is.
Oh, okay. So not just like. So you're saying physically it's going to be smaller, right?
Yeah, physically smaller and no dock.
And no dock. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I want a set top unit.
Yeah.
Here's
a set top box.
One that doesn't leave doesn't need to leave your house.
Yeah. By the way, just for the sake of clarity, my main prediction is that we're going to get another Switch model. The addendum is that it'll be a smaller Switch. I could be wrong about that, but I would have put money on them releasing another one. Yo, we making a bet.
Make a bet.
Yo, man, got something?
Now, here's something I want to talk about with this story that I found interesting. Because one of the things that also came out this week is the fact that Switch has sold 32 point something million consoles, which is gangbusters. By the way, Xbox has sold 40 million. I'm just saying. Think about that. In 2 years, right? Switch sold 32 million. In 5 years, Xbox sold 40 million. Come on, son. You already know what's happening at the end of this year. But despite all that, despite the fact that Nintendo sold so many consoles in December that it helped them win the entirety of 2018.
NPDs.
And yeah, NPDs. They still sold less than Nintendo predicted.
Well, and they also I don't know. A lot of people have been posting this on Twitter. I don't know if it's true, but apparently, my PS4s outsold Switches in 2018 worldwide. That
doesn't sound right. I thought Switch outsold a PS4.
Well, that's NPDs. That's North America.
Okay, NPDs. Yeah.
Well, can I take a moment to? I told you so. That was all.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, and again, you're the only guy that said it credibly, not just like, "Oh, Nintendo's great; it's gonna outsell everybody." These motherfuckers, they didn't know shit either. Here's
the thing that baffles me. Like, I can't believe I say this. Poor Microsoft. Like, they have just been like, okay, we got our pants beaten off by a more powerful console. We're going to make the most powerful console. Wait a minute. The least powerful consoles? What the fuck?
Yeah, dude. It's crazy. Oh, by the way, I don't have the numbers. Maybe somebody in the chat could give me this. The attach rate on Switch is crazy. Like, PS4 attach rate ain't nothing compared to Switch attach rate. Motherfuckers buy games and motherfuckers play games. You know, I want to know what the attach rate is on Xbox.
Didn't they say something about the attach rate on PS4 being like 10?
It's 10.
And I'm like, and I remember seeing that, and I tweeted, well, it doesn't help that I have like over 70 games for this console. Like,
shit.
I killed the curve.
You know, but yeah, no, and you know, again, it's just funny. And Carl's, you know, this is your chance to rant here. I find it funny, these guys all over the Switch, right? Oh, the Nintendo fans, we love Switch. Where were they, man? Where were they for the Wii U? That's all I'm saying, man.
The Switch, the first 2 years of the Switch is a bona fide Wii U remastered, and all these people are like hyping these things up. Like fucking Mario Kart 8 is still fucking selling. It's 10. Was it top 10 MPDs on December?
Yeah.
It's that. Fucking Zelda is a port. Fucking Let's Go Eevee. Those things are essentially ports because they're just remakes of Yellow. Man, it's like
the Switch is proving that the Wii U was an awesome system. If you think about it, you know,
Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze.
It's proven that the Wii U had good games.
Okay, had good games.
Like,
yeah.
The system itself.
Yeah, you're right about the question. Yeah, you're right about the. But
maybe people just didn't like the console and they thought it had good games, but yet they couldn't support the console.
But I'm like, if you're real if you're really about that Nintendo life, you know what? Yeah.
Maybe they're not. Maybe they're like, hey, we like the games, we don't like the console, so you know what? We won't support it. Maybe that was the stance.
I think you're right. You know, I guess these guys that are like hardcore Nintendo, maybe not that hardcore Nintendo to begin with. Very interesting.
Well, I mean, they're
games.
They're hyping up these games, and they didn't hype up the games 5 years ago. But that's neither here nor there, because I'm telling you, Mario Maker. That's gonna be.
Oh, forget about it. Forget about it. When Mario Maker. Here's what I think. Think about it like this: because of Smash Brothers, right? You know, the Switch won 2018. What happens when Pokemon drops?
Yo, when Pokemon drops, fucking cancel Christmas, man.
Yeah,
because that's just gonna take over everything. Like honestly, if they release Pokemon in November, Switch is gonna outsell fucking PlayStation 4 and Xbox combined.
Yo. Well, I know, man. I'm telling you, at the end of this year, when the Switch outsells Xbox, I'm gonna be on Twitter all fucking day. That's all I'm saying, man. Oh, that's gonna be hilarious.
I'm just finding just breathtaking, just how fast the exclusives are selling. Like they're like people think that the PS4 exclusives are doing like gangbusters numbers, but the Switch exclusives are just wiping the floor with them.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's always been Nintendo's strong point.
Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Like, Smash sold what? I think like 11 million in like 32 days. Like, that's potentially more than God of War has since launch.
I want people to understand what Brian just said. Smash Brothers sold more copies in 3 days than God of War did.
32 days.
32 days?
Yeah.
Jesus, man. I'm telling you, these guys are crazy. And Brian, think about this. Zelda has never left the NPD since it dropped on there. Mario has not left the NPD since it dropped on there. Mario Kart has not left.
Don't worry. I know that Zelda has not left the NPDs because I particularly remember that way before launch, certain people were saying that Horizon Zero Dawn would outsell Zelda, and a certain person was saying no.
Yeah, that was me. I said that shit. You know,
the Brian remembers.
Wait, what? 1 second. I just want to mention this. I was at the forefront of that talk.
I know, Carlos, but I'm just saying that again because I strictly remember people saying that it won't outsell, and I'm like, it will outsell, and it did outsell. So again,
I was definitely wrong because remember, I'm basing it off of the fact that I thought Switch was only going to sell 4 million in its entire lifetime. You know,
Brett had his stab, so I'm having my stab as well.
Yeah, it's all fair.
We can stab together, Brett.
Exactly.
That's how prison gangs do. And while reading Pro Tony, how about the fact that Zelda is not a system seller?
Yeah, that's also another one I was wrong about.
It wasn't for the Wii U.
One thing I learned is that I do not understand the mentality of the Nintendo fan. This is why I don't make predictions on Nintendo anymore because I don't know which way these guys are gonna go. You know.
By the way, you're mentioning that. You know what's reminding me of Nintendo fans right now? Something that's recently come out. Kingdom Hearts fans.
Yeah, we can talk about Kingdom Hearts in a bit. What happened with Kingdom Hearts fans though?
Nah, their fans are so fucking crazy.
They're crazy. By the way, I just have a good analogy, right? Like me, let's just say I'm an expert on cats, right? Like I know what cats are about, you know, big cats, little cats. I know all about the cats. Then I come in here trying to, you know, I see a bat flying around and I start telling you about the bat, not knowing shit about a bat. I just realized that with me, like basically,
that's the funniest looking cat ever.
Yeah, it's like, and then I start predicting what the bat is doing and shit, you know, how it behaves. And then I end up looking stupid because I'm a cat expert, not a bat expert, you know. And that, yeah, go ahead, Brett.
I'm just sitting here and be like, yes, this is a Norwegian bobtail, and this one is a southern sphinx, and this one is, oh wait, that's a raccoon.
Yeah, it's like, what kind of flying cat is that? You know, like that's basically me. Like Nintendo and PlayStation and Xbox. Those are cats. I understand cat behavior. I don't know shit about bats. I don't know what the fuck they do, you know. And me trying to predict the bat's movements or the way it eats, I'm gonna look dumb. So I'm just gonna shut up and let the expert talk.
Dude,
you know?
I don't think you're the only one. Like, so many people did not know. Just like, I have no idea what the fuck just happened to the gaming industry.
Yeah, it's like, what happened? Like, again, the weakest, that was my main thing. I'm like, listen, the weakest, this shit is not, okay, and here's the thing. Everything I said, I know I was wrong, but everything was based on facts that were true of that time. Handhelds were going out of vogue. The most powerful console at that time was the biggest seller. So I'm like, no one's gonna buy a fucking underpowered, handheld-ish console. No one cares about this shit. Well, boy, was I fucking wrong, man. I had to break out that fucking crow. Not even one crow, like a whole feast of them. You know, put some adobo on those motherfuckers. Yeah, murder. You know.
A feast for crows?
Yes, Carlos, that was my hint. That was my hint right there. You know, I hope people caught that.
I got it, man.
You know, I had to put seasoning on them bitches and marinate overnight, you know, but I still ate that motherfucking crow. You know, I know people still want me to eat them. It's like, listen, I'm full, man. I ate my crow. I'm good. You know? You guys could do the prison exchange all you want.
You
could do that all
day. Put some Crowdobo on there.
By the way, I totally envisioned in my head. It's like, Brett came by me, right? He fucking shivved me. Then he just slides it to Brian real quick. He cleans it. Then he shivs me again. It's like, damn, son, I'm just trying to get my lunch.
I bet the next time you see Brett, the first thing he's gonna be like, yo, Tony, what's up? Yo, I told you, motherfucker.
I told you, bitch.
I told you.
Yeah.
Did I tell you? I told you. Mm-hmm.
I told you, motherfucker. So yeah, lesson learned from this generation, Tony, don't make any predictions about Nintendo because you don't know shit about Nintendo.
Okay, but I do want to take a moment, Tony, to compliment you on being able to admit when you're like, man, that went sideways on me. I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, most people that I know, journalists included, when you put that shit to them, they start with well, actually, and then they just go into this long fucking tirade about why they weren't 100% wrong. Like, I appreciate the fact they're just like, nope, did not see that coming.
I didn't. That shit sideswiped the fuck out of me. That's it. There's no other way around it, you know? Yes, like, all my predictions were based on certain things, but at the end of the day, that shit don't fucking matter. I was wrong. I did not understand Nintendo or the market. Plain and simple.
And that makes you a hypocrite, right?
Not really. It just makes me fucking wrong.
No, I'm joking because we constantly have people on the podcast being like, well, that's not what you said last year. Like, yeah, motherfucker, new information came to light.
Yeah, that's how these things go. When you get new information, you got to update your shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. By the way, you guys are having a good time in the chat, man. That's great. I like that. I like that a lot.
Lots of talking.
Yeah, man. They're very chatty in the chat. That's fucking great. All right, where the fuck are we right now? Okay, so Sony first party developers are now focusing all their energies on PlayStation 5 games. Yeah, well, no shit. Of course, you know. You're not going to have Naughty Dog. Oh, what's our next PlayStation 4 game? Come on, son. You know? Mm-hmm. But, man, here's my question to you, though. Where does that leave Death Stranding?
I think that Death Stranding is going to come in that middle point.
You think it's going to start on the PS4 and it's going to walk all the way to PS5?
Yep. It's gonna do like what we're gonna see that happen.
Carlos,
right?
I got that.
I know what you're getting, but it's kind of a lousy transition. But
don't worry, that shit went right over my head.
No, because because of what they're saying about Death Stranding. It's a walking simulator. Or
No word.
so,
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, it might, it might definitely, they might wind up doing something like that. It could be just like a Metal Gear Solid 5 situation. But then again, according to Kojima, it's coming out this year.
We'll see about that. We'll see about that, Kojima.
I hate that we're even having this discussion.
What happened, Brett? You hate that we're having a discussion? Why?
Because, God damn it, Kojima, just fucking tell us what the game is. We shouldn't have to be speculating for years on end about what Norman Reedus' mouth baby means.
That shit, I'm sorry, Koji, that shit ain't coming out this year. You know damn well. That's like George R. R. Martin saying Winter's coming out this year. That shit ain't coming this year, bro.
Shit ain't coming ever.
I mean, he recently went over to Guerrilla Games and showed him about 2 hours of finished game.
Yeah. By the way, that's one of those stories that frustrates me because they're like, oh, they showed the game at Guerrilla Games and they're all blown away. They're not gonna say it sucked.
No, they're not gonna say it sucked. But apparently he showed 2 hours of game that was fully done. So what's the next 20? What's the next 22 hours look like?
I wonder how much of those 2 hours was just cinematics.
Oh shit, yeah, right. Yo, look
I
what I did with your
think
engine.
Think about it like this: Kojima is obsessed with cinematics, right? And this is a game that is gonna have so many, like, it has movie stars in it. I mean, he's gonna go ham.
I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be at least an hour of cinematics in the game.
Oh no, dude! There'll be at least an hour of gameplay in the game.
Damn. I think he's going to tone down with the cinematic stuff. Look at Metal Gear Solid 5. That didn't have nearly as much.
5 was very light on cinematics.
Because he specifically said is like that era is kind of over. I can't do shit like that. So he purposely kept that light. So I expect that to happen with Death Stranding,
Hey man, he got Mads Mikkelsen and he's got Norman Reedus, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe.
It's gonna be crazy. But anyway, going back to the topic a little bit, Manny, I think who was it? Glorious War says that he also believes that's gonna happen with The Last of Us 2. That it's gonna be on both.
Oh yeah, I definitely think The Last of Us 2 and Death Stranding are gonna be those crossover games. They're gonna be like, it's either gonna be like this. It's gonna be a game that either is forward compatible. You know what I mean? Like, in other words, it has something about it that it can work on a new one. And yeah, that's what I think.
Well, they're going to have to release it at the tail end of the console that they can remaster it or upgrade it and then sell it to us a second time with the new console.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's something we talked about the other day. It's like, okay, because most of us think that the next generation consoles are going to be backwards compatible, but we also think that they're still going to try to sell you these games again. It's just how are they going to do it?
It'll be what is it? Death Stranding Substance. It'll be like all the stuff that he couldn't put in there.
Yeah, exactly. Like they'll be like, listen, we know that you bought Death Stranding for PS4, and we know that you could play it on PS5, but if you get the Butter edition, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna do something like that, man.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be crazy.
I mean, look at what happened with the beginning of PS4. Pretty much all the last PS3 games essentially came out on PS4 remastered.
Yeah, they remastered it. Yeah, but the difference is you're still going to be able to play those games on PS5, right? Mm-hmm. So how do they sell them to you again? Because they're thinking about that.
Dude, they're just okay. The PS4 free upgrade is not going to be a thing. You play the PS4 version on the PS5, or you buy the PS5 version. They won't give you the boost.
That could also be a thing too.
Could be, like you could still play the PS4 game on your PS5. It just won't have the enhancements, right? That's what you're saying, Brett?
Correct. And then they'll sell you a bunch of enhanced editions. I'm glad you used that word.
Yeah,
enhanced.
They're gonna do something. They're gonna do something.
They're gonna do something.
They're gonna do something. Yeah.
Can I ask a on-topic, off-topic question?
Yes.
Do you guys think they're gonna use? Oh no, never mind. So I'll ask the question and I'll say why I kind of don't think about it.
Did you just answer your own question?
Yeah. So I was going to ask, do you think they're going to use disc-based games in the next consoles?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and the reason why I think that now is because if they are backwards compatible, then there is no other way to do it.
But
Unless they do like the PSP Go route, which
no, what do you mean? There's no other way around it. You could buy the game digitally, bro. It's still going to be the same PlayStation Store.
Yeah, but what if you own the games digital, physically?
You still have to have a disc tray.
Yeah, I think that I think your question is better asked for next generation. You know.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Fuck, I lost it.
Oh well.
No, that's.
Go ahead.
Okay, so basically, if I'm trying to think of how to say this. If the limitations of CDs are going to become a selling point for digital distribution, which they make better margins on, they have no incentive to try and pack all of the game onto a disc anymore. Now they can pretty much do what Steam, like when you go buy a CD, a computer game in a big box retailer, most of the time you come home, and back in the day, it was a disc that automatically linked you to Steam, but now it's just a fucking key. So I think it'll kind of be the same thing. Like I can go out to Walmart and buy a game. Is the whole game even going to be on the disc? No, it'll be the first level and an unlock code so that I can still start playing right away while it downloads the rest of the background. And there will be people that bitch about that, and then to which Sony will say, buy digital. Or it's a great way of them not even having to say it. They don't have to directly be antagonistic with the big box retailers, but they're still pushing people to digital.
The main thing about that sort of stuff is they just leave it alone. Don't even say it. But then what happens when they get their what if they do say it and it gets everybody mad?
Yeah. Well, no, I think that's why I'm sitting here. I was like, it's more subtle than people realize because it's just one of those. There's a problem coming up that's pushing people more into digital. Is Sony going to do something about? What are they going to do about that? Well, the answer is nothing, because if they don't do anything and they keep their mouth shut, they get to reap the benefits without pissing off their allies. So they're just it's just going to become inconvenient. It's going to become prohibitively inconvenient.
But then you also have a Capcom situation. It's like, they didn't say that all the DLC was on the disc, but it actually is, and all you're getting is a key to unlock it.
Well, I don't think it'll be all the stuff on the disc. I think it'll be like
no. I mean, it'll be the reverse. Mostly nothing is on the disc, and everything else is online.
Yeah, but here's the beauty of it. When the gamers find out and they outcry, the response is going to be, well, what the fuck is the point of even buying physical? Then we're just all going to buy digital. And Sony's going to go, that's a good idea. You should do that.
Hey,
they make more money.
Hey, that's what I did when I realized that a disc is, like you have to install the entire game anyway. I'm like, why the fuck am I buying this physical? And I stopped buying physical games. So I'm already there.
Now let's follow that logic. If Sony makes more money off a digital game than they do off a physical game, why in God's name would they be compelled to fix that problem?
No, you're 100% right. And this leads to something that's going on in the chat right now and that Carlos was already hinting at, right? Okay, we're still going to have disc games, right? But we're also going to have discless systems. I believe that's going to happen. Microsoft's already going to introduce a discless Xbox One, right? I think we're going to get that variant for PlayStation 5 and whatever.
Well, that's a rumor.
That's a rumor, but I believe that rumor. That rumor just to get people, just to test the waters. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to get your regular console. You could stick a disc in. Or, hey, buy this other one for $100 cheaper with no disc. That sounds pretty tempting. I would consider buying that. I don't buy disc anymore anyway, So it's something to consider for next generation. And that'll lead us into the other generation where they probably wouldn't even have disc at all. And going back to our first story, no one is really buying games like physical from like these stores. So, it's interesting. I think it's something to consider. By the way, shout out to Paikuhan, son. All right, just had to say that. No, I'm not calling you Paikon. Paikuhan.
It's Paikuhan.
Anyway, go ahead, Carlos.
We also have to take into account, like, if we're going to keep going this backwards compatibility route, there has to be a point where we stop using discs because we're not going to be reading discs 2 generations from now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right about that. So and look at PC, Carlos.
Yeah.
There you go, man. That's what's gonna happen. Just get all your, and that's beautiful about PCs. Like you don't have to worry about backwards compatibility. It's all there. Every game you buy is still there. Like you buy a new graphics card, you're not gonna be like, oh fuck, I can't play this. With maybe some graphics cards you can't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, there's some older games that don't work.
Yeah, like as long as you have your account, you're good. You know. Lord PyCon is from. Dude, Pike. See, this how I know you motherfuckers don't watch the old school, the Japanese shit, man.
Yep.
You know, Paikuhan is his name in Japan. PyCon is his name over here. We don't fuck with that American stuff, man. Paikuhan.
And Goku is not Goku. He is Son Goku.
Yeah, like Son Goku. You know, and he screams really high. That's Goku, man.
Even if he's fucking old.
That's it. It don't matter, man.
And it's Saijin Joninjin.
Well, no, that's the robot. Yeah, Saiyajin, not fucking Saiyans. You know, that's a whole other topic.
What happened to PyCon? Oh, never mind.
Saiyajin
Paikuhan, you know, and it's Mr. Satan. You know,
Mr. Satan.
Hercule, get out of here with that. Although they did fix it eventually. They did eventually fix that. All right, where the fuck are we? Sticking with Sony. This is again. I wish Adam was here for this one. This makes me very happy, though.
Gotta have something.
Gotta have some. PlayStation Plus cloud storage is now going to be expanded from 10 gigs to 100 gigs. Yes,
about time.
About fucking time, man. I was about to reach that limit. I think, and I also think this sets the stage for PlayStation 5. You know, very nice. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Sony. You know,
Adam says thank you.
Yeah. By the way, for you guys hearing, I was clapping. I was not doing something untoward with that noise. Yo, Tony, man, what you doing? You beat this shit, man, on a podcast, motherfucker. You dirty asshole.
You gotta do it right in front of people's faces. You gotta go like this.
Yeah, well, I did that, but the people who are only hearing it, you know, they're gonna go, "What the fuck was that shit, man? What's he doing?" You know?
Yeah, for the people only hearing that, Manny, that comment came across way different.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to do it right in front of their faces.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yo, what you doing, man?
Props to Sony for this. Like, this is actually something that I think Sony got right. Yes, I know I criticize Sony a lot, but this is good. You know, increasing storage space, and yeah, Tony has a point.
Don't worry, they'll fuck it up.
And Brian, free. It's free. You don't have to pay extra unless you're, pay for PlayStation Plus, obviously. You know.
I gotta give him something, Tony. I gotta give him something.
Gotta give him something.
Like this does make sense. Again, PS5 is coming soon, and also it leads to the credence of like, why would they want to increase the size? It either means that game saves are going to increase wildly as well, or they want you to transfer your game saves from your PS4 to PS5. Again, possibly hinting at the idea of cross-generation games, which I think is really great. So hence I'm like, okay, well done. And plus 100 gigs though, that's a lot of space.
That's a lot, bro. But Brian, here's my question to you: 100 gigs, like how big are game saves gonna be next generation, man?
That's the question.
Look at how big. Look at what Red Dead 2 came on. 2 discs.
I know, the game save, not the actual game.
Game saves,
themselves.
Yeah, game saves.
Like, I think that Bloodborne was like 140 something megs. So I'm just like, game saves can't be more than what, like 500 megabytes, maybe.
Some are gigs though. Some are gigs.
How is that even possible?
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I don't know. Yeah, like some
saving the whole game.
Yeah.
And if you play like RPGs, those motherfuckers, you have a lot of game saves and stuff. Yeah, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, multiple game saves. What the hell happened to that? Like,
yeah.
I like the idea of multiple game saves. Like, it's one reason why I don't like games like Uncharted. Like, I want multiple game saves, The fuck?
Yeah, man, when I'm playing Resident Evil 2, I got 3 of those bad boys ready, son.
Yo, man, Kingdom Hearts can do it.
Kingdom Hearts as well. By the way, this is why I wanted Adam on here, because apparently he hit his 10 gig limit with game saves 2 years ago. Shit. Like, what the fuck? Didn't he just get a PlayStation 4 2 years ago? Man, Adam is crazy, man. All right, and the last thing, I threw this in here for fun. Were you guys around for the Xbox Live going down for a couple hours on Wednesday? Very interesting shit going on Twitter. So apparently it got so bad that if you turn on your Xbox, like the whole dashboard was black and shit. You couldn't see nothing. Xbox support was out there telling people, wait for a patch. Don't turn your system on. It was crazy.
Damn. All right.
It got pretty bad, I also did appreciate the jokes of people saying no one's really noticing this problem because they haven't turned on their Xbox in 3 years. Damn.
Oh, well, no, people are noticing it because they can't watch their Netflix.
Oh.
I'm playing around.
You know.
I'm sorry, guys. That was right there for me.
Yeah. So I guess the important question is, where were you during the Xbox blackout of 2019? Oh man. Obviously, this is not nearly as big as the PlayStation shit that was for 11
way.
days.
They weren't hacked. Well, were they? No.
I don't know what. That's what. Did anybody figure out what happened? I don't think they were hacked. I think it was just something, But it goes to show
somebody tripped over the giant electrical cord. Whoops! Oh no!
But it goes to show how kind of scary the current times is, or maybe the future, where like, if the online server goes down, you can't play shit.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like their dashboard is dependent on calling home.
Yes.
That's odd. No wonder that shit runs slow.
Yeah, that horrible dashboard too, But I don't know if Again, I just threw that story in there for fun because some of these guys were like going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's the thing, because I caught the story a little bit late, so I tweeted out the story, and people were like, "It's already fixed. It's already fixed." Like, I didn't know that, motherfucker. Here's what Xbox tweeted out. We are aware of reports of Xbox One console startup, title update, and sign-in errors. We will keep everyone informed, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, that's, to me, that's scary. Imagine you turn on your system and it's just like, blah, dead, Not cool, man. Not cool at all. Let me look at the comments here. What the fuck are you guys talking about right now?
Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, okay. Don't talk about anything illegal in our fucking chat, man. Mike, you crazy, son.
Yo, man, those it keeps the records of that shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yo, Carlos, I'm gonna say this is the happy place. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's like the happy place.
The happy place, man. All right, man. So we're gonna wrap it up. So yes. What you got, man? What you got?
Other things.
Excuse me.
So
I can talk, man. Go ahead.
Obviously, you guys were aware that Kingdom Hearts 2 was leaked about a month before the game came out. Right?
3.
2. I'm in 3.
I was about to say like 2, man. That
2, yes.
You got it leaked 15 years ago.
And obviously, Tetsuya Nomura was warning people to not look on YouTube or anything like that because you might get spoiled of the game. So, on release date, a few days ago, they released a patch which fixed a bunch of issues and added an additional movie at the end of the game. So if you think, which you can only access by doing certain things in the game, depending on the difficulty, which means that apparently one thing in the game is not going to get spoiled. Wasn't going to get spoiled by those guys who played the game early, and also that means that the people that reviewed it probably didn't see this, whatever this is either, which is interesting.
Those motherfuckers didn't finish the game anyway.
Nah, they probably didn't get all the extras and shit.
Yeah. They probably since you bring it up, let's talk about Kingdom Hearts 3. You've played it. What do you think?
I think it's good. I mean, it feels like an evolution of Kingdom Hearts 2, where it's a lot of the combat seems very similar, but they definitely kind of upped the ante. Like, especially when you press that triangle button, when you hit things enough times, and all of a sudden you hit the triangle, and a friggin' Disney ride pops out, and all that other or he changes forms and all kinds of stuff. So it's definitely a lot more flashier and a lot more interesting things to do rather than just slap the hell out of everything, which is cool. So far, I really like what they did, and the biggest. This is not a spoiler though, but essentially. Maybe it is a spoiler. I don't know. But anyway, when you start the game off, you're essentially not playing Kingdom Hearts 3. You're playing Kingdom Hearts 2.9. And then after that 2 hours of gameplay, then it finally becomes Kingdom Hearts 3. So what are you thinking of it, Tony? As a person who's never played a Kingdom Hearts game before.
Yeah. So It's interesting, right? Let's talk about the game first. The actual gameplay is good. You know, it's very solid. It's I guess it's like a hack and slash type of thing. Action RPG. I'm not the biggest fan of action RPGs. I kind of prefer turn-based RPGs, but it's good for what it is. You know, it gets the job done. Like you said, it's very flashy. I like the graphics. They've done a really good job with the Unreal Engine. It doesn't look like an Unreal game, which is pretty interesting. There's some times here and there where like, okay, that's Unreal, but for the most part, doesn't look like it. Although to me, it looks similar, not a lot, just a little similar to Dragon Quest XI, which is also another Unreal Engine game, and which also has a similar sort of kind of aesthetic going on. You know. So that's fun. I like the Disney worlds. I like, you know, their little stories. I feel that's when the game is at its best, when it's just doing the mashup better, you know. Yeah. Although I'm gonna say this again, I'm not too far into the game. I'm only 10 hours into it. I'm like, where are the Final Fantasy characters at? I thought this was supposed to be like a combination of Final Fantasy and Disney, but I'm only seeing Disney characters or Kingdom Hearts characters. No Final Fantasy characters except for the Kupo that you buy your shit from. You know, it's
interesting. Yeah, I did notice that there's not, like, it all seems to just be Kingdom Hearts cast now.
Yeah, like, and my thing is, I'm like, okay, this is Kingdom Hearts 3, right? We've had a long time for this game. Where is Lightning? Where's Noctis? Where's all these new Final Fantasy characters? I'm not seeing any of them. Where's the dude from Final Fantasy 12? Like, where are these dudes? You know what I'm saying?
Well, the guy from Final Fantasy 12 was never even when that one was out, he never popped in there.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, why isn't he in this one? You know, I just want to see more Final Fantasy stuff. Now,
I would think Noct would be in it.
Yeah, Noctis is not in it. Weird, you know, all those guys. I'm like, why aren't they in it? But with that said, I'm playing this purely for the gameplay because I have no fucking idea what's going on with the story. You guys are going to love this shit. So the game gives you a synopsis, right? It's like a 20-minute video. I saw it. I'm like, I don't know what happened. Manny sent me this other video. It was a little better. Very confusing, though. Then I saw this other video that was longer, 30 minutes. Now, think about this. This is how insane the story of Kingdom Hearts is. I saw essentially 3 different synopsis videos, right? And all of them are completely different from each other.
Well, like, what the fuck? You know? Each one of them chooses to focus on different things about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm like, okay, if it's so convoluted, like, for example, if you have 3 different videos giving you the synopsis for the first Terminator movie, they're all going to sound the same, you know. This is giving
there's like,
no, it's going to tell you, oh yeah, hey, you know, Sarah Connor's being chased by this robot. Kyle Reese comes back, tries to save her, to save John Connor. They're all going to have the same basic thing. With Kingdom Hearts, like, where's the basic shit? I don't understand what's happening.
There is no really. I mean, the basic shit would be the Xemnas plot, where he wants to reunite the world or something like that.
Yeah, my point is, like, if you have 3 different synopses and they're each describing completely different things, this is a very convoluted game, but at the same time, like, I at least know who the good guys are and who the bad guys are. So I'm like, okay, at least I got that. But again, I will say this, even though I've been playing it, if I didn't get this game for review, I would not have played it, and I don't feel I would have missed out. It's still not really my type of thing. I'm not really big into action RPGs like that to begin with, you know. But again,
even though the last Final Fantasy was an action RPG.
But here's the difference, and I realized what it is, right? Because I also like Tales of games, you know, Tales of, you know, Berseria. When the action starts, even though it's live action, there's like a circle around you. Sometimes it's invisible, sometimes it isn't. It keeps you penned in. This game doesn't pen you in at all. So
you can run. You can literally try to run away.
Like, I wish it would pen you in a little more, so it could be more structured. Like, sometimes, like, I'm hitting enemy with a combo and I'm leave the battlefield essentially. It's like, and I got to run all the way back and stuff. It's a little frustrating there, you know. The lock on, I'm not too big of. Like, as soon as you kill one guy, the lock off completely goes. So you have to constantly keep locking on to different enemies and stuff. You know,
you probably can toggle it to where it senses who the next one is. It's probably a menu thing.
Yeah, maybe you could. Yeah, but you know, it's all right. It's all right. Again, I'm not a Kingdom Hearts guy like that, so I'm probably the wrong person. But at the same time, I still feel you could get some good information, you know, or at least good perspective from me as a person who is like me, who hasn't played these, you know. But so far, I'm saying you know, it's a good game, but it's not mind blowing or anything. You know, I'd rather go back to playing Resident Evil 2, which is fucking amazing. You know, great fucking game. I love that shit. You know,
it's more your type of game. I would say. I think it's more a lot of people's type of game.
Yeah,
that's
Resident Evil 2 is incredible.
Why I still think Resident Evil will do better than Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, that's going to be interesting because the hype I'm seeing for Kingdom Hearts is ridiculous, man. Also, I do want to say this. I think they have these as a special edition, but I want to buy the toy versions of Sora and the other guys.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Like in the Toy Story, like they look cool. They look like cool action figures, you know. And I'm looking forward to playing the Pirates of the Caribbean level because they're all realistic looking, you know. Mm-hmm. So that'll be fun. That, by the way, that section looks very much like an Unreal game. You know,
they're running their Unreal textures on everything.
Yeah, but you know what, Manny? Since you set the trend, does anybody else here want to jump in with some random gaming stuff? They want to throw in just cause. I'm gonna take that as a no.
Just cause?
Just cause, man. That's Brian. That's what Brian's playing right now, aren't you, Brian? Trying to get the platinum.
On PS4, soon to be. I'm just trying to do some things in Crysis 3.
Oh, interesting. That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
I play a bit of everything. You know, I'm like, hey, I'm bored. I'll play this. Yeah, I'm not playing shit this week. Just watching lots of JoJo. Yeah. What the hell, Carlos?
We're not talking about anime right now, man. Save for the after show.
I know you're here.
Yo.
How the hell are you going to feed poop to a baby? What the fuck's that about?
Oh, shit. No spoilers here, man.
Yeah, that show is crazy. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
All right. Hey, Brett, are you playing anything, man?
Yeah, I'm playing Divinity 2 right now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. How are you liking it?
I'm enjoying the shit out of it. I'm playing one campaign through with myself and playing another through with my buddy Morgan, where I can actually share play the game and then toss him a virtual controller, so he doesn't even actually have to own the game for him to play through multiplayer with me.
Nice.
I just kind of kick around in my own campaign, and then once or twice a week he'll hit me up and be like, "Hey man, you want to play Divinity?" Like he just hit me up a little while ago. We're going to play some after this, so we'll pop on and wreak havoc for an hour or two.
That's what Adam and me used to do when we were, we're in real life.
Yeah, and like that's
share play is great, man.
Yeah, that's one thing I really appreciate is like the game really does accommodate share play. Where, the funny thing is we've seen a death of couch co-op, which is a damn shame for people who actually want to play games with their friends. But the bigger shame I've come to realize is share play would actually let you, if you could play couch co-op, play that couch co-op with anybody anywhere in the world. Like it automatically links up.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not really a good reason not to include it in games. And so I'm kind of, the game has really opened my eyes back up to, God damn it. And I know I've always been an advocate of this, but God damn it, why did we get rid of couch co-op?
It's interesting. All right, I think that's it for us. So yeah, we're gonna, Hey Brett, are you down for some Anthem tomorrow night after work?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, cool. So
be a space wizard.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so that's what we're doing tomorrow night. Probably 11:30 p.m. Eastern. A little late because again, that's what how we do on Throwdown, man. We're fucking night owls.
Night owls.
Yeah. I want to say we're werewolves because that's cooler than a night owl, but that doesn't apply.
But but it's only one time a year. That would be a horrible gaming analogy.
Yeah, right. But yeah,
it kind of makes sense. Once a moon, we get together and play late at night.
So we are werewolves. Okay, that's it. We're werewolves. Werewolves are cool. So we'll play that, and Friday we'll definitely do it. Saturday we'll see what happens. Maybe get Adam in there because I don't think he cares about Anthem at all.
I mean, it'd be a good opportunity for the people who really don't care or don't understand, like to actually get their hands on it and be like, "Yep, this is definitively not for me."
Exactly.
Which is weird because it's kind of like Titanfall in a way.
Yeah, it's like he's not interested in that, but he loved Titanfall. Like maybe he needs his robots to be a specific size for him to. I don't know, man.
I really do gather that. As weird as that sounds, I think he's very particular about his size robots.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm egalitarian about that shit. Like mech, power suit. I like all that shit.
I'm cool being Iron Man. I'm really just, man, the flight mechanics looking to be at least kind of fun.
Hold on, I just fucked my mind up right now. What about a power suit inside of a mech? Forget about it.
you mean like the Hulkbuster armor?
Yes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, why not? Yeah, it's like, come on, you get the best of both worlds. You have a mech and a power suit.
Yeah, why not both?
Exactly, the little girl, right? Why not both? That's awesome. All right, guys. So thank you for watching and listening. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at Throwdown Show. Links are located in the description below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco. And tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you later, guys.
Carlos Romero.
Laters.
Brett Murdoch.
It's been real.
And Brian Manjoma.
According to some fuckwit on the internet, apparently being pro-consumer is toxic.
God. The segues for the after show are the best, man. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.
Later, guys.